So here's what's going on so far. Pertaining to what I was talking about earlier, a little bit of light, not much. Bringing the mid-tones down here as well. Shaping the water. I think that I would like to have this sort of, I'd like to tone it down, bring the values down, make it deeper blue as we get into deeper water. Mostly because of the design. I'd like to bring this down. You know, yes, I can raise the clouds in certain areas, but the general tone of the painting is this. You know, we have this, we have these rocks doing this. We have a very strong, the most solid, rock solid, forgive the pun, area of bedrock coming down here. It comes up a little bit, but not much. So let's, without repeating it identical in curve, let's just reinforce it with something that sort of repeats it, that sort of emulates it, that gives it a bit of rhythm, and continues to push our focus into this area. You know, it's all about support for this area. We want to diminish importance here. Also, by darkening this, you know, that allows me to not have to go too dark on the rocks, on the in the foreground and on the right. Now, this is very blue against these rocks. I don't mind that. I may still raise the value a little bit, just in the odd spot under here, so that these two marry each other better. And I may take a couple of these dark strokes and lay them in the water, again, to marry the two. You know, it's all about, juxtapositioning. Sorry, I hate that word. I've always hated it. It's important and it's applicable, but I've always hated it. So, anyway, there we have it. There's that with the water. Now, you know, I know what I'm going to do here, roughly, and starting with my strokes from left to right, I've trailed off the strokes, as I was doing earlier, up top. They're very thin towards the trailing end of the stroke. So I can paint right over that. I don't have to worry about finishing the water tonight. I don't want to. I'd like to begin these rocks. And just like if you're going to do some carpeting in your home, or if you're going to, you know, remodel your house and do a little bit of painting somewhere, you'll take samples, paint samples home, you'll take carpet samples home, and go to the applicable areas, see how they look under certain light, see how they look with your furniture, see how they look with other colors that you have in your house. Same thing here. Only in this case, I need to come up with my own samples, which I have to mix. So, without stopping the video, sorry, I don't have a cough button or a vomit button. Anyway, I'm just, sorry about the horrible acting here. I'm just gonna drop this camera as jerkily as possible. I'm gonna flip my screen around. I'm gonna move it over to here. And I will go find my glasses because for some reason they help sometimes. I've mentioned earlier that I wanted to, along this edge, you see where that water is quite high value against the rocks, which are low value to start with. I want to establish my color on these foreground rocks. And I mentioned I was going to go with cobalt blue and raw umber, or rather, it's going to be burnt umber. Now, I know this rock is dark. It's going to stay dark. The leading edge of this is going to stay fairly dark as well. But that's because I want to stop these strong horizontal lines. I need to stop them somewhere. I don't want your eye running right off the painting too quickly. So this will be quite dark. This rock, however, is one that is going to begin to pick up a little bit of light. And let's play. I've mixed up some cobalt blue now. And raw umber. And I want this to look fairly bedrocky. Now, I'm not using as wide a brush or as broad a brush as I'm planning on doing later, but it's getting a bit late in the day and I don't want to dirty a big brush, because I'll use a gallon of turpentine to clean a little brush, or a big brush. So this is the brush I've been using so far. It'll do just for this test pattern. In fact, to load up on a little more burnt umber. And as I said, you know, to me, it kind of bothers me. It so much appears that I'm becoming too light too quickly. Until everything gets put in perspective and I realize that, well, wait a minute now. There is so much rock. I need to have a variety of light in it. So this ultimately will not appear to be so light. At least that's the plan. He says bravely. Okay, a little more white. More cobalt blue. And I know the camera does not pick up everything I'm doing. I'm okay with that. What matters is the painting. I gotta stand up. I'm getting too much glare from where I'm sitting. Okay, that's a bit blue. A bit of junk in there. It's a pretty fine line. Not going too blue. I'm not going too brown. A little more white. I'm always tempted to add a little bit of yellow ochre in there to warm things up, but as I said, I don't want sunlight. I don't want warm light on these rocks. Absolutely not. gives me a pretty good idea of how I'd like this rock to appear. I know it's shaped like an almond, but I'm not going to worry about that. That shape will change as the painting continues. But I think you can see there's an obvious difference between the dominant ultramarine blue, well there's cobalt blue in here too, and the dominant cobalt blue, and really what's dominant is raw umber. But see, this is almost straight raw umber here. There's a hint of alizarin crimson in it, but we've gone sort of a warm purple to a cold blue. I'll probably revisit these rocks with a couple of highlights later, but you know, nothing we need to worry about at the moment. I think that's okay. I think also, let's actually put this in here while we're at it. Why not? Seeing as we're at the edge of the painting, I'm feeling a little bit cocky. I'm feeling a little bit bold. I think we can be a little rougher with it, and I'm good with that. I'm just fine with that. Yeah, that's good. It appears to be quite careless. And yeah, I guess it actually is a little bit careless. And that's what can sometimes give it an interesting look. Okay. I think we're just going to leave it at that. Actually, I'll square the camera off again. Clickety, 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 click. Those rocks are not completely finished, but in essence, they are what they're going to be. Okay, let me just level out my bipod or my tripod a little bit. Let's zero in on this water a little bit as well. See, subtle changes in color. Not a lot. Okay. Well, hope you all have a good weekend. And the way things usually go, I'll probably see you before it's over. Okay, bye.